Hello. Now I am going to explain about the CLI configuration and addressing.
For implementing basic addressing schemes, when designing a new network or mapping an existing network, it is important to document the network. The documentation should include a topology map of the network and an addressing table. The figure 1.1 shows the documenting and addressing schemes. Here is the topology diagram, and the addressing table consists of device, interface, IP address, subnet mask, and default gateway address for end devices such as PC. The basic routing configuration. When configuring a router, certain basic tasks are performed, including the following: naming the router, setting passwords, configuring interfaces, configuring a banner, saving changes on a router, verifying basic configuration and router operations. This is the router in user mode. After we type the enable command, we will enter the privilege exec mode and the prompt will change. Now I would like to explain about the basic router configuration command syntax. First is naming the router. The syntax for naming the router is hostname followed by the name of router. Setting the password. The syntax is enable secret and followed by the password. Next, we configuring the line console and the telnet lines with followed by the password, and we log in. Next is configuring a message of the day banner. The syntax of banner is banner motd begin by the dash symbol followed by message and end by dash symbol. Next is configuring an interface. The syntax for configuring an interface is the interface followed by the type number, IP address, address mask, description, no shutdown. Next is the saving changes on a router. Just type copy running config startup config. Next is examining the output of show commands. There are some show commands such as show running config, show IP route, show IP interface brief, show interfaces. Now I will show you about the packet tracer activities 1.2.1.2. Now I will show you about the packet tracer activity 1.2.1.2. First, we configure the router. Now the router is in the user mode, and when we type the enable command, it will change to privilege exec mode. We type the config t command. Now I will change the hostname to R1. The hostname of the router changed to R1. Now I will configure a password that is to be used to enter privilege exec mode. class is the password. Next, I will configure the console and telnet lines with password Cisco. Now I will create a banner. We need to begin with the dash symbol. We also need to end with same symbol. Next, I will configure the interface serial followed by the IP address followed by subnet mask and add the description. The interface activated with no shutdown command. The serial port for R1 is DCE. End of the cable connected to its serial interface. It will be needed addition crawlback command. I will add a crawlback command. Next, we continue to configure next interface. Fast internet /0/0. IP address. Follow my subnet mask. Add the description. And activate the interface with no shutdown command. Next, copy running config startup config. Copy running config. Running config is in the RAM configuration file. You need to copy the running config in RAM to the NVRAM configuration file. Next, we can examine the output of show command. First, show running config. Show running config. Show running config. Display the configuration file in RAM. Next, we can show startup config to display the configuration file in environment. Next, we can tap the Show IP Interface Brief to display the interface information, including the IP address, interface, and the status of the interface. It is the useful tool for troubleshooting and quick way to determine status of the router interface. For the show IP route is to display the routing table that iOS is currently used to choose the best path to its destination network. The other show command is show interfaces. It will display all interface configuration, parameters, and statistics. That's all for CLI configuration and addressing title. Thank you.